What is going on, everybody? How y'all doing? What's going on, Gene Pile? What's going on, Eagle Clips? Yeah, man, this is so far. It's been a little frustrating on just the part of the lack of anything so far. I mean, of course, we know Howie had to be involved in some of these deals. Like, there's no way he's just not inquiring about these guys. Let me know if you guys can hear me good. Just put a yeah if you can hear me good. Just someone comment yes if you can hear me good. All right, cool. So real quick, what's going on? Like I said, Eagles clip, Gene Pyle, the Bull Philly, Charles Smith, Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharps, Eagles 11, pretty cool. Jalen Williams, yo, what's going on? Yo, we more talk than action. I agree, man. I agree 100%. We definitely right now look like we're more talk than action. I mean, like Gene Powell said on one of my things, do we have a plan? What is the plan? Like, we heard we were going to go after a veteran corner. I still want to target a wide receiver in the draft. No doubt about it. I mean, a corner in the draft, not first, but a corner. We got picks. We got to get depth on this team in other positions. And I understand Byron Jones signing for that much money. All right, it's out of our hands. But it seems like, again, James Bradbury, maybe a little high, actually pretty high. 3 years, 45 million, 32 million guaranteed. These teams are having to go, higher than what they want. But at the end of the day, they still got somebody. And with the uncertainty of Jalen Mills, Ronald Darby, who we all don't want on a team, Ronnie McLeod, a free agent, I think the Eagles would try to bring him back, but not on an expensive deal. We got to remember the CBA just passed. The money is going up every year. What used to be a lot is not quite that much. Now, I understand Byron Jones' deal was wild. But, with the money going up, we have some room to play around with. Let's get to this. Oh, snap. Bunch of these. All right, let's get to Kevin FU, we should make some moves. I feel you, bro. Down South Eagle, what's going on, bro? At free agent is off the chart. You good, sound? All right, you sound good. That's what's up. Stephen Joyce, what's going on, bro? Diggs rumors are heating up. Yes, the Stephon Diggs rumors are heating up. The fact that he was on his social media really saying bye-bye. I mean, that doesn't mean bye-bye to Philly. But it means bye-bye from Minnesota. And with that being said, if we are holding our tongue on these other things, the reason that it was weird though is because Howie was so dead set on getting a corner and boom, 2 corners off the board quick, expensive, but still off the board. Burgang 114, this season is starting so bad. I mean, in the morning when we re-signed Hassan Ridgeway, I liked it. He's a very underrated player. If you put his stats up next to Timmy Jernigan's, Timmy Jernigan started more games and he did everything and more than TJ. So I like it to play alongside as a rotation player with Fletcher Cox and Malik Jackson. But yes, it's not starting nowhere like we wanted to. Devin K, what's going on, bro? What's going on? Coronavirus, what's going on, bro? Mayor Slack, yo, thank God you're Zara. I've been needing some Eagles to watch. I feel you, bro. Kevin FU, will Eagles sign DeMarcus Robinson? He was definitely linked to us early and often. I think, in my opinion, he would be my last resort we need a receiver to come in here too. We need a veteran guy to play alongside of Deshaun Jackson in case of injury and the up-and-coming draftee we get, because we're going to draft a receiver. We got to. I mean, we really got to. Eagle Clips, would you trade for Diggs? Definitely is an option. I mean, we just saw what DeAndre Hopkins went for. Like, let me put these up. We just saw what DeAndre Hopkins went for. David Johnson one time was a monster. 1 year. Broke that wrist or hurt that wrist, came back, was never the same. Injury after injury after. I understand Arizona might not be using him right, but David Johnson and a second-round pick for a top 3 receiver in the league, D-Hop. I mean, you might be able to put Michael Thomas in front of him. You might be able to put Julio Jones in front of him just because of size and everything. But D-Hop is definitely number 3. The Bull Philly, I think he was worth it. I think he's going to be a key rotational player alongside of Malik Jackson and Fletcher Cox. Like I said, he started 5 games, had like 4 tackle for losses, 2 sacks. I mean, he did a lot for only starting 5 games. Now, he got hurt as well too, but I liked him when he came from the Colts at the beginning of the season, and I think he's not going to be able to start, but at the end of the day, you know how the Eagles D-line is. We like to rotate. Fletcher Cox, Malik Jackson, mix and match with a guy like Hassan Ridgeway, who we can get cheaper than a guy like Timmy Jurgen. Charles Smith, the Eagles are going to end up with Chris Harris. The Eagles are going to end up with Chris Harris or trade for Slay. Hey, at this point, I think the Eagles really wanted a corner. I didn't think that the Eagles knew that Byron Jones wanted money, and I was on the edge. Like I said, he's better than anything we got, but I didn't want to be tied down long-term for big, big money. And the Dolphins paid big, big money. Will you play Slay close what Jones got? It depends. Maybe on a yearly basis, possibly. But again, you got to remember, Byron Jones is a young player who got time in this league. Darius Slay, even though he is big play Slay, and the boy is still a good corner, he is older. You got to watch what you give him, guarantee-wise and long-term wise. Miroslav, I think Howie is sleeping. Oh, wow, I just skipped a bunch. Michael Bernardo, what's going on? Thank you for the super chat. Hey, dollar goes a long way in the YouTube thing, trying to do big things with you guys. But yeah, what is going on, my brother? Thank you for the super chat. I feel like Hassan should have had a 2 or 3 year deal because he's eating. Yeah, he definitely was eating. Sorry if I skip some of these comments. Like I kind of it jumped on me. But here's another one. Thank you for the super chat. Was Hassan worth it? I didn't see the $1.99 super chat last time, but at the end of the day, if anybody knows in the chat when I get to it, what did we pay him again? Because I looked at that deal when I was at work. I thought I saw it was type decent. And again, I think he can eat at the D tackle position with a guy like Fletcher Cox. And again, we want to keep Fletcher Cox healthy. You want to keep the rotation. Like when you're forced to play Fletcher Cox and Malik Jackson, who suffered an injury early all the time. At the end of the game, they start to lose gas. That's when a runner back starts to eat on you more in the fourth. But when you have a solid rotation, you can bring in Hassan Ridgeway for 15 to 20 snaps. You can bring in a guy like Anthony Rush, who we might keep still, who is dirt cheap possibly, and get some snaps. And then when these boys do get a point, Fletcher Cox and all that in the fourth, they ready to go. Caroline Carroll, you think we should sign Clowney? I mean, I still don't like what he did to my mans, but at the end of the day, it's football, and you would have to get over something like that. It's rough. But I don't know, depending on the money, because he's a guy who can get hurt a little bit too. Drones are Eagles. What is up? What's going on? Like I said, I'm sorry. It jumped on me and I couldn't get back to where I wanted to get to. Samuel Mack, we ain't getting nothing. We letting players slip right through our hands. Yeah. And like somebody commented on my thing, I think it was Sean Kingpatrick, and he was like, that's too much for James Bradbury. And I agree. I just think, remember, with the CBA and the money going up, we got money that we can spend. I mean, we still got to watch what we invest in long term, but we still got money to spend. Get him down. Do you think we give Malcolm Jenkins a new contract? I believe it's in the best interest of the Philadelphia Eagles to give Malcolm Jenkins a new contract. He doesn't got to be the top paid guy, but he got to be in the top 5 guys in the safety. Look what he did for the team this last year. Being as old as he is a problem if he can't stay on the field. Part of the reason you want to get younger is to minimize or limit these injuries. He don't get injured. So until we can get a replacement, we saw what happened when we let Brian Dawkins go. And I'm not saying Malcolm Jenkins is Brian Dawkins, but when you miss that safety piece, or that not just safety, when you have a leader on the defense and you let him go, it takes a while to get another one. It does. We went through a lot to replace Brian Dawkins, sorry. And I'm not saying Malcolm Jenkins is him. I'm just saying what he brings to the table in a leadership role, never missing time, and still being able to, do what he needs to do. I think he deserves it. Bergen 1017, Howie's a bum. I mean, let's see. You never know. In a second, we can just get a tweet that, he pulling the trigger for a Stephon Diggs or a blah, blah, blah. So it's not looking promising. And it's just the fact that, I don't like how we continuously to just talk a big game. We come out there and say, we're going to be aggressive at the cornerback position, or we're going to be aggressive spending wise for playmakers for Carson Wentz. And I know we're going to have chances to get playmakers in the draft. Best believe that. But come on, like D-Hop off the table. And I guess the Texans wanted a running back, and we don't really have running back options to just like pull trigger. Like, come on, Miles Sanders is a future piece. Boston Scott, I don't think it'll value him as much. But David Johnson in a second, like we wouldn't be able to package like a second, a third, and maybe next year's. I don't know. I really didn't think about what we would offer. But just to see D-Hop go across the stream on your phone to the Cardinals, you're like, could you imagine Carson Wentz throwing to D-Hop? Like, my God. Exactly. D-Hop was dirt cheap, and we passed on that. We could have gave up Jeffrey Sidney in a second. Again, I don't think nobody won Jeffrey contract, but I don't know, but I'm curious to see what we offered. I would love to find out, and I'm gonna do some digging to see what and if we offered anything about D-Hop. Can't believe we didn't get D-Hop. Yeah, I feel you, Aishan. Get on the phone with John Lynch and trade for that 13 pick. Yes, I did see what's his name say that in a video. Joey Shake said it in a video. And hey, he's right on the sense that they don't have a second or third or a fourth. So if they really want, to get some depth, 2 first-round picks sound good. But when you get these 2 studs and you don't pick again till 5th, you pretty much giving up the rest of the draft. And this is a pretty deep draft. He can probably pocket a second and 2/3 for an extra 4th with a team like us who got an abundance of picks. But what do we move up to get at 13? Who are we trying to get? I know what the crowd kind of wants, but what would you take, Charles Smith? Coronavirus. That name still kills me. Dang, all right. Let's get to some of these other ones. I'm trying to go one by one, but it's killing me, so I'm about to start. As a 55. All right. John Clark's page says that Byron didn't want to be in the NFC East. That is interesting. I didn't see that. My guy chilling. That's what you got to do. You got to do that on free agency day. It's the most sports action we had in a while with this whole, the Bull Philly. Do 4 years make you a vet? Pretty much. You right on the edge. You're right on the edge. Not really, because you got to be off your rookie contract. Pretty much, you got to be off your rookie contract and into your grown man NFL contract. What am I thinking? Yeah. So after you get off that rookie contract and you're past your first year of your first actual NFL contract, you can start to be considered a vet. And it's also just how you act and what you got to do for the team in the locker room. That all can speed up the process, I guess, too. But yeah, Stephon Diggs is a very hot topic, and I'm for it. Again, maybe not no first round pick, but with what they packaged for DeAndre Hopkins, come on. Slay is only 1 year older than Byron Jones. People make it seem like Jones is 25, he's 28, and Slay's 29. Yeah, but I think it's 2 years because I think he just turned 28 and he's about to turn 30. But you're right. In the grand scheme of things, 2 years is not that big of a deal. But the fact that the Eagles have so many old people, if this is a different team, if this is like look at the Niners acquired Richard Sherman, who's older, but because they had so many young boys, the whole D line is young. Their other cornerbacks are young. So they acquired one veteran in Richard Sherman and it tweaked the whole thing. But when you got a bunch of veterans, it's hard to try to get another one. But I feel you, Darius Slay, but I think they were asking for like a second or something. The whole ESPN trade was what, a second and a second in Sydney or a third in Sydney, but a lot of people wanted to keep Sydney. Let's go to new comments. Not this. If I didn't answer your question, just ask it again because I'm gonna run through this whole thing quick. But like I said, let's go to Dan Slover 147. Oh, all right. Imagine we get Brandon Cooks and Cooks meets Jenkins at the locker room. Yeah, man, Jenkins laid him out that day in the Super Bowl. That gotta suck. Brandon Cooks was playing in the Super Bowl. He got tackled. And next thing you know, he's waking up and he's like, yo, what was the score? And he's like, we lost, bro, because he was knocked out. Can I get a wrench? I got you, bro. It'd be hard to do it on here sometimes. Hold up. I got you. Oh, there, you got a wrench. Oh, no, you didn't. Hold on, let me do that real quick. Do that on here. But yeah, let's get to some new comments. Brashad Perriman, yeah. So anybody in here who likes Brashad Perriman, click a yes or click a no in the comment section while I give my man a wrench. How are we all feeling about Brashad Perriman? Got you. I got you. See, took the whole 10 seconds, 10 minutes. So we got a couple yeses. We got a first no right here. Isaac. All right, and elaborate on your no. This is my whole thing about Brashad Perriman. I think you can get him on a cheapest contract. Bonds 927. I hear you. He is injury prone. That was his whole problem. Let's just say this. The dude got drafted by the Baltimore Ravens in the first round. Was a 4-3 guy. Big guy, can do it all. Injuries. Just a lack of being able to get on the field. But yo, and this is just for funny, but if you look at what this man looked like when he came into the league, the dude looked like he was 40. I mean, he just looked like he was going to get in the league and get hurt. He looks a lot different. And that could just be like an anomaly. But the dude was behind Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. But when he got his time at the end of the season, he balled out. 5 games, 3 of them over 100 yards and 5 touchdowns in 4 or 5 games. Pretty good. But at the end of the day, you can get him cheaper, and we hope to draft a wide receiver as well. But I feel you guys. Coronavirus says no. Harsgrove, I think you can get a receiver in the draft. Oh, yeah, no doubt, Isaac. I 100% agree with you. You can get a receiver in the draft, and the Eagles have to. Carson Wentz deserves a playmaker to not just play a couple years with, to grow. The dude that we draft, if we do the right way, if we draft the right way and get our guy, this guy Carson Wentz will be done playing the Eagle still with this dude. You know what I'm saying? You get a nice guy in and you have him for the next 8-9 years. Carson Wentz is already 27? Quarterbacks do be playing into the high 30s now if you can stay healthy. But that's for another day. You know what I'm saying? We need weapons, though. We need weapons. What's going on, my guy? Philly take with RB. We need some dang linebackers. Corner is important, of course, but I feel like we need playmakers to hold it down. Not too confident Nate Gary is our number 1 linebacker. I agree 100%. The Eagles are sleeping on that. We've always been known as a team to just not really pay attention to linebacker ever since we lost a guy like Jeremiah Trotter. Now, I'm not going to discount Nigel Bradley. When he first came here, he played pretty good. He definitely did. But it was time for him to go. Camus Grugier-Hill looks like he's going to be leaving. So with Camus leaving, Nathan Gary's there. You have TJ Edwards, Duke Riley. Like, we need to get somebody there. Now, there's still a guy out there like Corey Littleton. Oh, the Eagles that's what you were saying. I just see the Eagles Javar Hargrave to a 3-year, $39 million deal. Nose tackle. So, I mean, could have tried to use that on a linebacker, but there we go with a nose tackle. Hargraves, he's all right. Says 14 and a half sacks in 4 seasons as a nose tackle. I mean, your D tackles don't really get sacks like that unless your name is Aaron Donald or Fletcher Cox. But there we go again. So we already got Malik Jackson. We already got Fletcher Cox. We get the third guy as our rotational player in Hassan Ridgeway. And then we just sit there patiently, and then we come out with this. We sign another D tackle, nose tackle, whatever you want to call it, for $39 million for 3 years. I don't really understand that. Do the Eagles love D tackles and D linemen? Yes, we do. That's how he believes that if you have a solid defensive line, it will make your corners automatically upgrade. A C plus corner, it turns to a B. But with so many other holes on the team, you can't just be. So in the first 2 signs in free agency were 2 more D tackles when you already have your starting D tackles. So I like the signing of Hassan Ridgeway because you're getting your rotation guy. But now this, our D-line is absolutely insane. And if we can stay healthy, you got a guy like Fletcher and Jackson who can pair together. We didn't get to see that duo. We did not get to see that duo. But what I'm saying is you already got your duo. You got your starting duo. You signed a rotation player, and now you come out and pay $39 million 3 years for another guy because he's not starting over Malik Jackson, right? Do y'all agree? If Malik Jackson's healthy, he's going to start. $26 million guaranteed. Oof. Hurts. Barrett is a slot. We already have 3 years. See, when it comes to corners, you really got to watch that because there's guys who really love to play in the slot. And like you said, Jalen Williams, Avonte Maddox. I mean, yes, he played on the outside a little bit before he got hurt. He played safety a little bit, but predominantly he's supposed to be our slot guy. Same with Crevion LeBlanc. We need to get that guy who could be on the outside. I'm not saying he has to shut down one side, but at least be able to play on the outside. The Bull Philly, we love D tackles way back since I can remember with Reggie White. Yeah, we definitely do. I agree with this though too. Malik is 30, and it's definitely somebody who can come in and back up right away. I agree, and we're getting depth there. But while getting depth there, we have no depth at certain positions. I mean, right now we're going into the season. If it would start with weak corners, like not really weak corners, but you're going to have who's going to be the starter. Are we going to trust Sidney Jones out there to start 100%? Are we going to trust Rasul Douglas, Avonte Maddox, Crevion LeBlanc? Like Crevion LeBlanc played good, but he's definitely got to stay in the slot. He's been a slot guy even in Detroit. Isaiah H., we just made him the highest paid nose tackle, so he's probably will start over Jackson. Then yeah, maybe Jackson will be the whole, come in and fill the role. Because again, like the other guy said, he's 30 years old. Maybe he can't handle a full season coming off whatever injury. I forgot the injury he had. Maybe he can't handle a whole full season. So again, you do want to have a solid rotation, especially the way the Eagles rotate the D-line. I mean, we even use Brandon Graham. We bring inside sometimes. Ernest Ely, why did we sign the nose tackle? Well, the points that we're making in here is that Malik Jackson is 30 years old. He's going to be able to play a role on this team, but the Eagles like to rotate. They like to have 3 solid guys because they're never going to just leave Fletcher and Jackson in all day, every day. So they like to rotate so they can stay fresh. A fresh D-line in the fourth quarter is crucial. But again, just as the average fan, this is what we saw. And this is where I feel some type of way a little bit. Okay, we know we always love to upgrade our defensive line no matter how we can. We just love to. It's been in the Eagles' DNA since forever. But when you go in here talking about playmakers, you're at the podium. Howie's at the podium talking about playmakers, talking about defensive secondary players, talking about this, and you re-sign our guy, Hassan Ridgeway, who I like, as a third guy. And then you get another guy. So it's like back-to-back nose tackles. When guys are getting receivers, guys are getting corners, guys are doing things to, help this new age passing game stuff. Thank you for the super chat, Devin King. Appreciate it 100%. Fletcher Cox needs needs less double teams as he can get. Hargrave can provide a great rotational presence, and Malik might still be injured. I like that. And again, the year we won the Super Bowl it's true though. We won the Super Bowl, and again, Tom Brady did whatever he wanted to that game. Yes, he did. But if you have solid or good D-line play, even a guy like Jalen Mills, even a guy like Ronald Darby, I'm not saying are good, but they look like we could survive with them because their C- D+ rating goes to like a C+, B+, B- rating because of the amount of time you got to cover. So it automatically brings them up. But yeah, it just the simple fact that we go from one D tackle to the next D tackle as our two first move. Isaac Tinesius, he's 27. That's good. That's a young boy right there that we need. And here's another one. We need defensive ends more than D tackle. Yeah, because you got a guy like Brandon Graham who's getting older. You got a guy like Derek Barnett at the one part of the season, in the middle to endish of the season, he was starting to get in his flow. He was starting to look good, and then he got hurt. And then when he came back, he was still like, we all know we want to see some big things out of him for being a first round pick a couple years ago, but it is what it is. I can't even read that. We need Foles. Come on. Miami going crazy. I agree with you. Let's see. The Hopkins trade may have crushed the market for Diggs and OBJ. Possible to get one for a lot cheaper than we think. We most likely will get Slay. I like that. Like I said, I don't know what I would want to give up for Slay with being a little bit older. Still think he's a playmaker, but who knows? But yes, I think that trade really, really is going to do a lot when it comes to D Hopkins. He's the third best receiver in the NFL to me. Julio Jones, even though sometimes Hopkins has better years stat-wise, maybe just Julio Jones is that he can do it all. He's big, fast, strong, everything. He doesn't complain, And Michael Thomas, he might not be the fastest. He's not going to run a 4.3, but ask about him. Broke the reception record last year. Jalen Williams, Malik Jackson might restructure. That would be nice. That would be real nice. What's going on, Anthony M? Yo, bro, our D-line is going to be stupid good. Hey, I feel you, bro. I definitely feel you. Marislat, let's see our next moves. Yeah, we got to see these bad boys. I think if we have we have other needs. That is what you need to address, bro. But I get where you're coming from. Yeah, and that's what happened to me too. Like when the first person said Hargraves or whatever his name is, I can't say it right now. I was like, why he saying that to me? And because I would have my phone off, then I looked at my watch and it said boom, boom, boom. I said, oh, that's why he's saying it to me. There are rumors for Brandon Cooks. No thanks. I'm sick of these mediocre moves. Hey, I feel you. Yeah. Right before I was getting on to go do the live, I saw the rumors for Brandon Cooks. And he's a speed guy, but I don't know. Like, I feel like the Rams paid him. The Rams, if we're trading for him, I think the Rams gave him a hefty contract. And if you're going to ask me a guy to trade for, Brandon Cooks or Stephon Diggs, I think Stephon Diggs is a guy who can do much more. We saw what Malcolm Jenkins did. We want to talk about Malcolm Jenkins' old age. Well, 2 years ago, he laid the smackdown on Brandon Cooks. Desmond Trufant then signed Train Waynes. Miguel Gonzalez, I love that. Early in the morning, I tweeted on my Twitter. For those who don't follow me on Twitter, I just started a Twitter a little bit after I did this YouTube channel, and this YouTube channel is only 6 months old. I signed up for Twitter just because I can get on there and show stuff quickly, but I tweeted that right away in the morning because they try to make Desmond Trufant available for trade. It didn't work out, and they're probably going to release him so we can sign him. Now, Desmond Trufant, he's better than what we got. I still think he can do what he needs to do. And again, free game. So, let's pay. Right now, it looks like the receivers are getting dealt crazy. And, so far, the two cornerbacks that signed did get some bread, though. They did get some bread. Charles Smith, Henry Ruggs will be like Brandon Cooks. Yeah, but I think Harry Ruggs got a little bit of more. He got a little bit more in his repertoire than what's it called than Brandon Cooks. I think Brandon Cooks is fast, but he's more of a one trick pony. That's why you've seen guys like Robert Woods and what's the other dude's name? Come on now, I can't even think of his name. But yeah, they were eating over there too, and yeah, he's injury prone. Jalen Trev, who we should trade for OBJ or Diggs? It really depends kind of what they're looking for. See, that's why I wish we could have somehow kept Haloti Vitae, because again, the Lions signed Haloti Vitae. He got paid, he got a bag. How was it, 5 years, $50 million? But Cleveland is looking for offensive linemen. So if there was some way we could have signed him, you package Haloti Vitae, a pick for someone like OBJ, but everybody wants to get what's it called off the books, Alshon Jeffrey, but it's going to be hard to incorporate him in a trade with his contract for a stud guy. You know, we'll be asking just someone to take him off their hands, if anything. But if the market is, I mean, for what DeAndre Hopkins did to this market, to me, I think, you know, let's go with Diggs first. I think possibly you can get a second round pick and then try to feel out what Minnesota wants. You know, I don't know what their need would be. If they would want to do a second round pick and swap a receiver, try to do that. But like, who do we swap? You know, Nelson's not going to be there. Alshon doesn't have a big enough. I mean, he's not. If he was healthy and cheaper, it'd be easy. If that was the case, we would want to keep him. But I don't know, and that's why it's a little harder. You got to think. Minnesota, they don't want to run. I mean, their run game is good. Their offensive line is pretty good. Maybe they would want somebody. I don't know. I don't think we have. It's hard. And we do have picks. Maybe they would do something for like a second and a fourth because they're just tired of his mouth. They're ready to. They know this draft is deep. Maybe a second and a fourth or a second and 2 fourths. We got 3 fourths. I would do that. Philly take with RB. Feel like too many people are thinking about personnel and not enough are focusing on coaching. These guys got to be used the right way. Yeah, at the end of the year, that is 100% true. And you saw that. We saw that at the end of the year. At the end of the year, we had none of the right guys, but we won games. And people always want to throw it in our face. Oh, it was the Cowboys. Oh, it was the Giants. Oh, it was the Redskins. And it was the Giants again. Well, let's just look at this. Division games last year, all right? The Saints lost to the Falcons. Why? Division game, and they beat them. And that was important for the Saints not getting home field. The Niners lost to the Cardinals. Why? Division game. The Patriots lost to the Dolphins. Why? Division game. I mean, so many good division teams. Or no, it wasn't the Niners lost to the Cardinals. It was the Seattle Seahawks. My bad. One of them two lost to the Cardinals. Why? Division games. But for Carson Wentz to put the team on the back, win 4 straight division games, I don't care if it was against them. Division opponents. Jalen Williams. Xavier Rhodes is one I'd go after. A 2-year deal will get it done. Worth 26 total. I think he might get close to the all-pro guy here. I actually put that in my community post, and I was going to do a video, but I had a birthday over the weekend, and I was not really here. But anyways, here's my take on Xavier Rhodes. All-pro corner 2 years ago. I think he was the 55th in the top 100 when the players ranked each other. But I do got to say this. I just got a tweet from Tim. Malik Jackson has the ability to line up inside and outside. Versatility should help find enough snaps for everybody. I will hear about that. My take on Xavier Rhodes is this. You hear their name, you automatically get like, maybe he could go back. Maybe he could do this. But the dude really did show in 2018, he was just like, he got beat a little bit and still played. He did certain things. But last year, I don't know really what it was, but I mean, he was not good. Now we can chalk it up to the team. We can chalk it up to a lot of things. But when you get in bed with a guy who has not, when you try to get a deal done, no homo, when you do this, You can't just remember the name, and he's going to use his name when it comes to the contract. But if you just go solely by what he did last year, you got to pay him little. I don't know. Honestly, I would say, I don't know. The dude used to be able to lock down dudes. You know what I mean? He used to battle up Antonio Brown all the time. But my initial thing would be like, nah, I probably want to go a different way. At the end of the day, James Bradbury, who I kind of liked all along, is going. Xavier Rhodes, man, it's rough. It's rough. It's rough. Yeah, I got you with a wrench. See, it sucks though. I don't know why it won't let me do it on the StreamYard to put a wrench. I gotta go on my channel and do it. So real quick, I want to hear what all your thoughts are. First of all, we got 113 people in here. Before you leave, or if you want to just click the live chat off real quick, go ahead and hit that like button. I appreciate it 100%. Hit that like button. I should have made this monetized and I didn't. But anyways, real quick, everybody, if the next possible thing the Eagles do, if it could be anything you want, but let's try to keep it a little bit realistic, tell me who's the guy you want. If any trade, any trader, any signing, the guy's a free agent, if we could get him, keep it some type of realistic, put that person's name down here. We're going to run through that real quick. And I got you, Jalen. Give you a thing. So let's go through this. We got Tyree Jones. He said Diggs. Oh man, they coming back. Get them, dude. They're coming back with the AB. 13 buckets. We got Diggs. That's interesting. Gene Pyle, Diggs. Tamburo Wicks, Amari Cooper. There we go. We got Amari Cooper in the building. Miguel Gonzalez. OJ isn't available. That's a pipe dream. Yeah, you would have to trade for him. And but like you said, the Browns haven't made him. The Browns haven't came out and said like, yeah, the dude's available. We're willing to hear things on him. So, this is a off the radar one. Eagle Clips, Brian Poole. He actually was a pretty good corner last year. But the thing about him is he plays in the slot. He's a slot guy. And again, he might be better than some of our slot guys, but with so many slot guys, it's like that double D-tackle thing. Like we can do better at this point. But I hear you. He was in the beginning, I was going to make a video about Brian Poole because he actually played really good this last year. Tariq Walker said Diggs. We got a lot of Diggs. Miguel Gonzalez said slay for a third. Simply third, I will take that. Just a simple third. We don't got to get no player, but I'll take that. Philly Luke, we signed. Yep, we did. We signed Javon Hargrave from the Steelers, 3-year, 39 million. I think someone said 26 guaranteed. Lance Rolex. I'm digging the YouTube picture, bro. He said Diggs. Yeah, a lot of people forgot about this man. Coconut 73 said Robbie Anderson. Alan Ryan said, I feel haha. Okay, we're going to go through a couple more of these. Pole Viper, Diggs. So right now, Diggs is all over. And the Diggs rumor is here heating up. We got a Christopher Robinson, Chris Harris on a short deal. Yeah, because of the age. But you think he can give us another solid 1 or 2 years? Hey, listen, the Eagles window is still here. We were picked to possibly go we were contenders last year. First Take, Undisputed, all these little programs picked us to be contenders. Why? Because we had talent. But when Alshon went down, D-Jack went down, Elson Aguilar forgot how to catch, even though he couldn't catch that much to begin with. I mean, Lane Johnson, Brandon Brooks, Jason Peters, Miles Sanders, Jordan Howard, Jalen Mills, Ronald Darby, Nigel Bradham, Kamugu Hill. I could just keep going for an hour. And we still made the playoffs. We were not supposed to make the playoffs. Luckily, we play in a crappy division. Amari Cooper. We got another Amari Cooper. Oh, wow. This is one I wouldn't. Alberto Gazzara. Melvin Gordon, if Howard goes away. There we go. You trying to get that bigger back, help out. Jamal Adams, man, my brother is a Jet fan. I would love to pry him from the Jets, but no way. You already saw. I get what was that? The Cowboys tried to do it like earlier, before the trade deadline, and it was like, nah. Who's your favorite linebacker in free agency? I got two that I was looking at. I would like Joe Sherbert and I like Corey Littleton. And I did read an article after all these cornerbacks left that could the Eagles be in play for a linebacker and then go elsewhere for corner and blah, blah. I like Corey Littleton. I think he fits the scheme of he's a linebacker that can cover. He can cover. I mean, you know how dirty our run game or our run defense is. And now we just added another D tackle and Javon Hargraves. So, I mean, from that D line is going to be able to shut the run down, Y9 or not. You get a guy like Corey Littleton who can run side to side and help clean up that middle. You clean up the middle, then these cornerbacks are not so susceptible to the slam because they got a guy who can get over there quick enough and, drop in the zone or drop back like Corey Littleton. I like Corey Littleton. Kyle B, trade for Slay or sign Harris. Hey, they're both still on the board. Oh, my God. I just passed a bunch. I'm going to run these off. Who's the Titans DB? Oh, that's Logan Ryan. Logan Ryan. And he was talked about too. He was talked about too as a guy that the Eagles were looking at in the offseason. Miguel Gonzalez. Perriman would be a solid pickup to then draft Jefferson at 21. I do believe if we stay at 21, we will get Jefferson. I do believe he will be there. Some people said that they thought he can move up. I don't think he's moving up past 21. I think he's ours if we want him. Do I think the Eagles have something in their idea to probably try to get up to like 15-ish with the Broncos or 14 maybe with the Bucks? And now, like I said, the Niners acquired the 13th overall pick. So they got 2 first-round picks, but they got no seconds, no thirds, no fourths. I don't know about the 5th, so I'm not going to say it. But they're thinking about giving the 13 overall pick or a first-round pick to get some seconds and thirds. So it's always an idea. It's always an idea. AB will be suspended as soon as he signs. Oh, yeah. AB, I mean, that's a pipe dream right there. Need to sign a linebacker. Littleton would be nice, or Blake Martinez. Yeah, I agree. I like what's it called. I like Littleton a lot. Interesting. Kevin Corman. I would want to sign Teddy Bridgewater as a backup, of course. But I think he's trying to get paid. I think what he did, not saying he can do that with another team, but the 5-0 win streak, he's trying to get on a team and play. Mike Dennis. I don't know who, but we need a cornerback ASAP, though, bro. Everything else we can figure out afterwards. Hey, that's short and sweet and to the point, and I kind of feel you, bro. Hello, I make no sense about what, Tyree Jones? Somehow, some way, we have to get a mid-level offensive tackle, defensive end, and free safety in addition to targeting the top linebacker and cornerback and receivers. Somehow, some way. It's definitely somehow, some way. I mean, yeah, Jason Kelsey's not going to be there forever. People talk about moving Samalu into the center position and stuff. I do think he could do that, but it would be good to get a guard/center in this draft somewhere around a 3rd, 4th. Like I said, one of the reasons why I don't want to move up, I want the Henry Ruggs. I want the maybe Jerry Jeudy's, the CeeDee Lambs possibly, or even to get up there and get a guy like an Isaiah Simmons. That'd be a lot. But moving up is going to take away that middle part of the draft where I think we could really fill a lot of these holes. Like with 2 3rd-round picks and 3 4th-round picks, you can get a backup safety like a Jeremy Chin, who I'm big on, and to try to get him in the 4th round. You can get a guy like Matt Hennessy in the 3rd round, who's a center. You can get a guy like a linebacker like a Jordan Brooks or a Malik Harrison or a Troy Dye in the 3rd or later 4th. You can get these key pickups in that 3rd or 4th that we would give up to get that one big dude. So it kind of, not you, bro. Some dude said we gay as Eagle fans because we crying over Cooper. Yeah, get him out of here. Get him out of here. David Hicks. Eagles now have the highest paid nose tackle. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I wish we went out and got Minkah Fitzpatrick last year. I agree 100% with you, B-Dubs. The funny thing is, and that video is kind of retarded looking because I just started, like I said, I started this YouTube channel the day before week 1. So September 6th, September 5th. So it's only been 6 months. I had a Minkah Fitzpatrick video about us trading for him, but it's like blurry. It's ugly. I look retarded, but it's cool. But yeah, I was big on Minkah Fitzpatrick at the time. That was the time the whole Jalen Ramsey thing was up too, and I liked Minkah. Should the Eagles get Anthony Harris? I think ultimately, I can never say that word. Ultimately, there we go. If the Eagles cannot figure out what they're going to do with Malcolm Jenkins, this would be a guy to look at, Anthony Harris. I think he got talent, but I would love to just get Malcolm Jenkins here. The leadership he shows, the respect that the guys give him in the locker room, that itself is important. Harris was tagged. You're talking about Chris Harris from the Broncos got tagged. I'm missing all this stuff. Let me know. Oh, yep. Harris is tagged. Harris got tagged. He was tagged. Yo, losing them all, man. I mean, AJ Boye, I'm not saying he's a great player, but could he come in here and help the team? Yeah. So AJ Boye went off the thing. You know, Chris Harris is off the thing. James Bradbury, Byron Jones, like. Now the physical only cornerbacks out there is Logan Ryan. I think Kevin Johnson from the Bills. Jalen Mills and Ronald Darby. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm done. Joseph Wagner, yes, we need to draft younger guys to rebuild. Miguel Gonzalez, trade third and then a fifth for Slay. I'll take that too. I'll take that too for the simple fact that I agree. I'm an advocate for saying we have to get younger. But I also think Deshaun Jackson, if he can stay healthy for a little bit, and this will be the best chance for him to stay healthy because of all the dang vacation time he had. Not really. He's rehabbing, but I mean, he missed a lot. He played 1.25 games. So you get an older guy like DJ, you get another guy on the side, you get your possession receivers being Goddard and Ertz. You got Miles Sanders and Boston Scott in the backfield. You got Carson Wentz doing Carson Wentz things. You got Doug Peterson doing what he did with Carson Wentz at the end of the year, rolling them out, using them the right way, letting them switch stuff up at the line of scrimmage. You got all that stuff. Our window is still right there. So I understand we want to get younger, and I do too. At the end of the day, you got to. And that's where the draft can really, put all this young stuff in there because we have 10 picks. We're not going to hit on all 10 guys, especially with Howie. But if we can hit on at least half, 5 solid guys, we might be all right. I think they mean Anthony Harris was tagged. Oh, Anthony Harris was tagged, not Chris Harris Jr. That sounds good. And we were talking about him. That makes sense because I don't think Chris, with them getting AJ Boye over there in Denver, I think Chris Harris is 100% not going to be there. But Anthony Harris being tagged makes sense. They're letting go of Diggs most likely. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, Anthony Harris is a solid dude. Let's shake things up. Let's shake things up, like Howard said, and trade up to get Isaiah Simmons in this draft. Look at the impact Devin Bush had for the Steelers. That's true. Isaiah Smith he's a hybrid type of guy too. Like he's a linebacker, don't get me wrong, but the dude can play safetyist positions. He can do a lot of things. That boy can just fly like an eagle. Oh my goodness. It's been over it's not an hour yet. We just need corners that don't break. Yeah, at the end of the day, it is. And that's why I like a guy like this, Dwayne Aldridge, Bird Game for Life, True Font. He might be there. Yeah, and I when I said about guys being available still, I didn't say him, but about 30 minutes ago, earlier in this live, I said about him too. What about Slay? He's not a free agent. No, you would have to trade for him from Detroit. But I seen that Detroit was also interested in Jalen Mills. So with Corey Underlin going over there to take the defensive coordinator position for Matt Patricia, I could see them being interested in Jalen Mills. And like, look, if we lose Jalen Mills and Ronald Darby, it's not a super bad thing. They're not that good. But where's the bodies? We need bodies. So are we starting Rasul Douglas and Sidney Jones on the outside and playing Avonte Maddox in the slot or Crevion LeBlanc in the slot? Darby out of here. I heard. Definitely. These nuts. Resign Malcolm and sign Logan Ryan. Definitely resign Malcolm. Logan Ryan actually was one of the best slot corners in the NFL. Now, back when he played with the Patriots, he did play on the outside a little bit, so he can do it. But you saw where he was able to get the most out of his talents was in the slot. And it's like, we got Krev, we got Maddox. David Hicks, how well do you believe in Howie? His magic runs its course. Hey, it used to be in Howie we trust, and I even like what he did last year. But yeah, it looks like it's starting to run out. I high key wanted Van Noy from NY Boy Can Ball. Oh, Van Noy, I'm not sure who that is actually off the top of my head. Slay and Trufant aren't unrestricted free agents. No, but the thing about Trufant is that the Falcons were trying to move him in a trade package, and not many people were biting. So they look like they're going to opt to release them, but it won't be like today. I think by the 18th, a guy like Trufant will be let go, and then it is what it is. He plays for the Patriots. Who? Logan Ryan? Logan Ryan plays for the Titans now. He played for the Titans last year. He was their slot corner. He did play for the Patriots prior, but last year he was on the Titans. Charles Smith, David Hicks, Elijah Holyfield will be our power back. Oh, Van Noy. All right. He's a free agent? I didn't know Van Noy was a free agent. Let's see. Case Keenum to the Browns, yep. To be the backup to one Baker Mayfield. DeMarcus Robertson or Bashar Perriman. If I had to pick at him two, I'm taking B. Perriman all day. Like I said, it's not like Bashar Perriman is coming out here be a super stud, but what he did at the end of the season, once he got the start, because of no Godwin, no Mike Evans, shows that he's capable of something like that. But he's what you call a high risk, high reward. You're not risking that much money, but what you're risking is a roster spot for a guy who can bust it up or can come out and give you what he gave the Bucks at the end of the season. In the last 5 games, he had 5 touchdowns and last 4 games, he had 5 touchdowns in 4 games, and 3 of them 4 games over 100 yards. Like 3 games not in a row, but out of the last 4, 3 games over 100 yards and 5 tugs. That's good. But again, for the Baltimore Ravens, he looked horrible, and he was injury prone. For the Cleveland Browns, I don't know what he looked like then, but he was horrible. But last year, he looked like he was starting to get his thing. I mean, he looked good. And that's where you got a high risk, high reward situation. But he's not going to cost you he probably cost you $5 to $7 million a year. He's not going to be heavy. You're not going to have to spend much money on him. Kyle Van Noy. That's what it was for the New England Patriots. I got you. Christopher Robinson. I think Michael Kendrick is available. Oh, we dipping back into the Kendrick thing again? Or left tackle Greg Robinson to start, so we have to start Jordan Malatala. What? Greg Robinson to start, so we don't have to start. What? No one. We lost Vitae, but he didn't start for us, so we're still good at this position. We just are going to need to put either Metalla or that Pryor dude, Matt Pryor. They're going to be our swing guy, so he comes in and fills in at certain times. Reed said the Dolphins suck. Here we go. Carlos Garcia. Should the Eagles pick up PJ Walker from Houston from XFL? Hey, I'm gonna be honest. I tuned in a couple games of XFL. I really don't know the guys like that, and but I'm gonna have to look him up though now. PJ Walker, what position is he from anyway? Just off GP. Big pain. Carson Wentz needs speed. He'll be a top 5 quarterback if he gets it. That is 100% correct. I love that. You think CD or Judy would fall to us due to the trades today? Not to 21. I think they can fall to. Don't be surprised if they don't fall into like the higher teens because of the all the needs for like offensive tackles, offensive linemen, and some of these guys like Chase Young and the quarterbacks that are going to go in the first top 10 picks. They could fall a little bit, but I don't see 21. Could I see they start to get picked off? Like one of them gets picked at like 13, the other one maybe around 17. I could see that. They could fall there. I'm not saying that one of these guys won't go in the top 10, but with the 2 quarterbacks needed Miami and the Chargers probably taking quarterbacks in Tua and the other dude, and then you got guys who are going to be taking Chase Young. What am I talking about? See, I'm starting to ramble. Chase Young and Isaiah Simmons, and then the offensive tackles that are going to go in the top 10. These guys get slipped to 11 to 18-ish in between there. And we got Henry Ruggs. And some people are saying because of that speed, that someone might decide to pull Henry Ruggs before one of them two. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, wow. I did a video on this dude, too. So y'all keep forgetting about Trevor Williams, cornerback that the Eagles got that beginning of the offseason. He was once a top 10 corner in 2017. Coco Delico. I don't know why I didn't remember that either. If you guys go back and look at like however long the season was over, like 2 months, go back 2 months or scroll my videos. I have a video about him, and the title says once a top corner in 2017. It's one of them high risk, high reward things too. After he was a good corner in 2017, he's been injury prone. He can't stay on the field. So what the Eagles did with him is gave him a future contract where they're not really paying him. They're going to let this man work out and practice with him when it comes time. And if he's eligible to make the team, then they'll try to make him, then he can make the roster. But it's one of the things where we have nothing to lose. If he doesn't show us what we needed him to show us, then we just part ways without really no paying barely any money. But it's one of them high risk, high reward things. Could he eventually do something? Possibly. Eagles just signed Jeremiah Hargrave for 3 years, $39 million. Yep, that's what they were saying in here. Oh, wow, he's a quarterback, PJ Walker. I'm going to have to look him up, but it would have to be for backup because quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles. No, I'm just kidding. Make a trade with the 49ers to get one of their first-round picks to move up and get CD Lamb. Yeah, let me ask this chat a question. If you had to pick just straight up CD Lamb or Jerry Jeudy, who is the better receiver to you guys, CD Lamb or Jerry Jeudy, just overall? So it's a free pick. You get to decide. You get to pick one of them. Who would you take? Let the chat. I want to see where the chat leading more to. I think the reason why we didn't sign Byron Jones is because we have bad times with corners at like Nnamdi Asomugha. Yeah, and once I wouldn't say that's the only reason, but that's always got to be in the back of fans' head and maybe some of the guys up top. Again, we won our first Super Bowl and only Super Bowl with a strong defensive line and suspect corners who were able to play at a high level because of the D-line. But also, once I saw that Miami Dolphins Byron Jones contract, I said, my Lord. David Hicks, I agree about speed for Carson, but he needs speed on the outside because he has Ward in the slot and tight ends for the possession. Yes, definitely. That's what I'm saying. I understand people like, oh, if we get a guy like T. Higgins or even Justin Jefferson. He's fast too, but he's a guy who can get down the field as well and do the possession thing. But if we need to move the chains, Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz, they'll get you that solid 10 yards easy. Ertz is not going to get no yak, but he's going to get you the first down. We need speed to get down the field. And even if we don't use it that much, just knowing that you got a guy running a 9 route or going vertical or going up the slot seam, when they do that, the defense has to expand. You can't double team Zach Ertz then. You can't clog up the middle. You can't put a guy in the box to stop Miles Sanders, LaShawn McCoy 2.0. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding, but all that good stuff. All right, we're about to see all these things. Dang, they went quick. So we got, let's see. So we got Gene Pyle says Lamb. We got Isaiah H says Lamb. We got the 2 Lambs off the grip. Blinding says Judy. Charles Smith says Lamb. What is going on? Extra Venom. I want Judy personally. There you go. Judy is a better route runner. Okay, you got the route runner. You know who they compare Lamb to? They compare Lamb to the D-Hop. So he might be only worth a second and a runner back. I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. Probably Lamb. So far you got the Lamb. You got the Lambs. Just Jalen says Lamb. My bad. Underrated game says Lamb. Tyree Jones says Lamb. iShine said Trevor who? Trevor Williams. Just look at the video I had over there or just type him up. He was a top 10 cornerback in 2017 with the Chargers when they were called San Diego Chargers. Mike P.J. Walker is the best quarterback in the XFL. He's good. He's actually good. Yeah, well, the best quarterback in the XFL could deserve a spot as a backup because it's not the NFL, it's the XFL for a reason. But I'm gonna check him out. Kevin Corbin said Lamb. Oh man, the Lamb. So we started getting on a little Judy roll, but Spike 23 Eagles said Lamb. Mr. Staley said, I think CeeDee Lamb is better receiver for us. I feel you. He said he might say that Judy might be overall better, but he thinks he's better for us. Another Lamb. Peter Thurman, CD is better in my opinion. There we go. Damn, we got the Mike Dennis Lamb. I shine Kyle Van Noy. Ward won't start. You don't think he'll be able to start in the slot? Because you got to think, if Nelson Aguilar's going, let's just say Alshon Jeffrey's going, you got Deshaun Jackson as the Y. You got someone else as the X. And then, well, I mean, you're saying J.J. Arcega-Whiteside might. Who would you start, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside in the slot or Greg Ward Jr.? Let me know. Isaiah H. Jefferson going to be to Jordan Matthews. Don't say that. Lamb is like Des Bryant and Judy is like Julio Jones. I'll take Judy. Great route running. I think when they did, at least the last one I saw, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought Lamb got the comparison to Hopkins, and I thought Judy's comparison was to Odell Beckham, like can hit that slant, catch that ball, and take it to the house, and his route running is good and stuff like that. I could be wrong though because I looked at it earlier. Not saying Nnamdi was bad. He was overpaid and didn't play as well as we expected. And yeah, he went from locking down the side to just no doors were locked. I said that way back. Oh, all right. Cool. Okay, we almost done with that. We got another CeeDee Lamb. Sure, no question. For sure, no question. Life with Jordan. All right. Oh, snap. We got a Aiden Cassidy. Ruggs low-key the best fit for us to capitalize on Carson's big arm. I like that. Will Nelson, CD all day. Marcus Mariota, Raiders finish it up in a deal. Oh, there goes him as a backup quarterback idea. Hopefully Deshaun can stay healthy. Mike Montana, that's true. And it's now or never for him to stay healthy because, I mean, he took off the whole last season. He played a game and a quarter. Yeah, for JJ. Well, yeah, JJ's going to have to get his reps. At the end of the day, what we saw from JJ Arcega-Whiteside was not promising. But because he's an Eagle, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. But I got to see more this year. I got to see more. Just be able to learn the route tree, learn the plays, take your time, do what you got to do. Like, other things will come. But, I mean, it looked like it was mental for him. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. But I like what Ward Jr. was able to do. And listen, remember, think about this. Greg Ward Jr. still played in the slot. And he was Carson Wentz's go-to guy when the defense kind of knew was either going to be tight ends or Greg Ward Jr. If you got a guy, just let's say for the sake of it, you got Henry Ruggs on one side. See ya. You got Deshaun Jackson. See ya. You got Zach Ertz just terrorizing the linebackers and the safeties in the middle. And you know how we love to stay in 12 personnel. So you got Dallas Goedert on one side, Zach Ertz on the other side, just terrifying the guys on a 5 and out this way, a 5 and cut, all that stuff in the middle to the outside. 2 guys going deep, and then Greg Ward Jr. just like, I'm right here. I mean, I think I love what the kid did, yo. If you've been following me for a minute, the whole receiver situation with everything going wrong, I was calling for Greg Ward Jr. come up earlier than he did. And when he got up here, I was hyped for it. And I wasn't going to say he's not Odell Beckham. He's not a number 1 receiver. But the fight he did after being a quarterback, I respect and got mad love for the dude. But again, slot receiver, the defenses knew they were going to go to him. You heard Skip Bayless script. The second time we played the Cowboys, he was like, I mean, they just keep throwing to Greg Ward Jr. He was crying, he was crying. Let's just put it this way. Amari Cooper got pulled off the field. Greg Ward Jr. didn't. What's up, though? Nah, I'm just kidding. We all know it's a big difference. I just got to say that. E-Wing 609, we need a great pass rush if Schwartz doesn't change his scheme. Yeah, at the end of the day, we got to get to the quarterback, especially when he plays that single high and he leaves these guys on an island sometimes. Life with Jordan. So you think we need to get rid of Howie because of his recent decisions, like this Javon signing? We didn't need him. At the end of the day, I mean, I don't want to jump the gun right away. I know. Like I said, we got the news when I was live on here, and I was like, another nose tackle. As I think about it, Tim McMahon has reported that Malik Jackson can play some outside, like some defensive end, to free up Brandon Graham and Derek Barnett when he needs to. If you have a solid rotation to where your D-line is feeling extra good in the fourth quarter, that's how you really come after quarterbacks. That's how you get the games won. It's one up front. If the offensive line is solid, the run game comes, Carson Wentz can stay in the pocket and deliver down the field. If the defensive line is getting at the quarterback and he's a little scared, he's a little nervous, that's when a quarterback misses an open receiver, even if our guys can't play defense. I'm just kidding. But we saw that in 2017, our D-line was dirty. Chris Long, Brandon Graham, a little younger version, Fletcher Cox, monster. Timmy Jernigan was really having that monster year and all that. All these guys coming as rotation players, coming in and really helping out. Jalen Mills and Ronald Darby got that job done, kind of. Not really in the Super Bowl because Tom Brady did whatever he wanted in the Super Bowl against us. We know that. He definitely did whatever he wanted, but we came out champions, strip sack, D-line, saved the day. It was a good signing in the fact that it's going to help our D-line. The signing gets even better if we get somebody in the secondary to help share up that too, because that has been the biggest liability. But we also got to agree that the liability also started up front when quarterbacks were dropping back, drinking some Gatorade, and then delivering a strike too. So I feel you, though. We all know we need secondary. We need it, especially with the fact that McLeod, free agent. Malcolm Jenkins, don't got a deal done. Mills, Darby, free agent, and deservingly. Oh, wow, this is interesting. Oh, what am I talking about? He got a Giants thing on. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. I'm only going to do this a little bit longer. Hopefully the Eagles get another guy. No, I'm just kidding. Imagine if the Eagles got Carson OBJ. Y'all forgot how good he was before the trade to the Browns. He was dirty. The Browns know how to ruin a lot of people. And my boy Darren Hasinger, what is going on, bro? Was a sneaky good sign. I feel you. At the end of the day, I know how the Eagles love to add to that D-line. We could use a defensive end, but not president. It's not president over the other things. What caught me off the grip, and this is why I agree with some other people too, was like, all right, we signed Hassan Ridgeway, and I was down for that because I knew it was a cheap signing. He was our guy, so we're just bringing him back. Sorry. He knows the system. Everything is good. You got Malik Jackson, Fletcher Cox as the starters, and he's a solid rotational player. And then, boom, the very next signing is another nose tackle or D tackle. I was a little thrown off, but he is good. Nick Foles got traded to the Bears. Oh boy, now we gonna play him. So, do we think you think he starts over at Trubisky? Now that Marcus Mariota went off the board, who is the best option for backup quarterback, not named Josh McCown or Nate Sudfeld? I mean, he's not the only one. Marcus Mariota went off the board, like you said it, and Case Keenum's off the board too. So, Easy Money 2004. Will we sign a good linebacker like Corey Littleton? If you weren't on here earlier, that's who I said. I like Joe Schobert. I like Corey Littleton. If I had to pick, I'm taking Corey Littleton because I think I like the way he covers. I like the way he covers tight ends. I like the way he drops back in zone. I just like Corey Littleton. Now that we're not paying for a corner, and even I know there's Trufant out there. Still got Trufant. You still got Logan Ryan. You got a guy like Kevin Johnson who's okay, but I don't think you got to pay these guys. So without that, let's try to get Corey Littleton. I'm down with it. I'm glad that we keeping Hassan Ridgeway because he's young with potential and he can learn a lot from Malik Jackson and Fletcher Cox. I heard that. Yes, I was just watching on free agent frenzy. That's tough. Nick Foles is projected to get traded to the Bears. Yeah, that's what Tyree Jones just said. Hey, let me just say this. Could you imagine the publicity? First round in the playoffs. Carson Wentz and the Eagles versus Nick Foles and the Bears at the link. I'm there. And I'm going live all day, even in the cold, in the playoffs. I don't care. Could you imagine that game? That'd be make or break. Want us to trade for Diggs or Odell, but knowing Howie, LOL, he's not making a blockbuster trade for this offseason. Yeah, it looks like Howie's keeping it in. He says, you know what? I think the coronavirus got to him, man. Corona got him shook. Corona. I think we need to work on our secondary before working on our pass rush. That's true. We can rush as much as people as we want, but if we can't cover, it won't matter about the rush. True. I agree with you like that. That's why I was shocked to go back-to-back defensive tackles. But like you said, we can rush as many people as we want if we can't cover. That's the thing. Last year, we were having to bring Malcolm Jenkins down in the box. We were having to blitz other things. If we could ever get back to only blitzing only rushing our front four. If you rush your front four, now you keep Malcolm Jenkins back there. We don't play no more single high. Now you can drop a linebacker in coverage to help the corners. You play a nickel defense. You have an extra corner back there. You have your safeties playing back. You can do that if your front four is tenacious. But yeah, I agree, yo. Secondary is a must. It is definitely a must. You think we should release Alshon 100? Especially with the new CBA. I think we can do it. And I think it's time. I love what Alshon Jeffrey did for the city of Philadelphia. Torn rotator cuff or whatever it was on his shoulder, whatever, played, and people forget that he balled out. He balled out with Carson Wentz too. He did. He balled out with Carson. He balled out with Nick Foles. The injury started adding up. I think it got to his head. Something happened with him and Carson. And it is what it is. The only thing I say, again, it could have been him, anonymous source, could have been not. We just got to get rid of that somehow, some way, and start fresh for Carson. Bergen 114, would you sign Vontae's Burfict on a cheap deal? I don't know, man. That dude is dirty. That dude is dirty. But E-Wing 6, oh, tell him I shine you. Oh, get him out of here. My man coming here with a Giants jersey. He's like, yeah, we signed James Bradbury. Yeah. Who cares? You guys, when's the last time you guys beat us? Dang. Nah, yeah, it's cool though. At the end of the day, listen, Giants, Cowboys, Redskins, nothing to be proud of, NFC champs at that record, but we still got it. What is going on, bro? Philly Fresh in the building. Yo, bro, Howie has to make a splash. Yeah, man. Like I said, the corona got him not doing nothing, I guess. Dennis Moore, Joe Flacco for backup. Well, I mean, no more Case Keenum, no more Marcus Mariota. It might have to be. Yo, Mike, what are you doing a draft live stream so we can all chill? Yeah, I'm probably going to definitely do a draft live stream. I'll be on here. I might try to do it with a couple of us. I'll get, have a couple of us, maybe me, Philly Fresh, Gate City Sports, maybe some other ones too. But yeah, we just got to chop it up on there. Chop it up for the live draft. Because, yo, we all know that, well, I don't know about you guys, but when the draft is starting, once it hits pick number 10, I'm going to be like this. Because from anywhere from 10, I mean, I don't think we're going to move up to 11 or 12 that early. But still, at any time, it can say, with the 12th pick, this team trades with the blah, 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 and they get the, and it's going to, 12 might go by, 13, 14. Once we get to that 15-ish area, we're going to be waiting to see if our name comes up as a trade partner. Because a lot of us still want that Henry Ruggs, the third. And then if it don't, 20, if it gets to 21 and we get Justin Jefferson, I'm gonna feel solid coming out of it. I'm gonna feel solid coming out of the first round. But I'm nervous. I'm excited, but I'm nervous. Very nervous. Spike 23 Eagle. If the rush is in the quarterback's face, the secondary will be fine. You said it. But right now we got to get bodies though back there because we looking a little suspect with just the fact that we don't have bodies. We need bodies. Cardinals have been predicted to pick a wide receiver in most mocks, so hopefully the Hopkins trade takes them out of that. That is true. You just lost they just lost their second round. They still have a first round. We all saw that Kyler Murray was running for his life. So hopefully that pushes them more like, okay, we needed a receiver, but we also need offensive linemen. They take an offensive lineman with their first now that they got their boy D-Hop. I like that. That's smart. Charles Smith. Spike 23 Eagles. Cindy Jones make a return to form. I like that. I do think there's upside with him. I'm hoping he does do what he needs to do. It's his last year of his rookie contract. I mean, we can always exercise the 5th-year option, but it'd be nice to see him come through. It really would. Hit up Philly 500, Eagles Tube. Actually, me and Philly 500 have been talking on Twitter, but we just talk about Eagle stuff. I didn't really like ask him to do that. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm not really prone to just try to, put it out there like, yo, let's do this. Because, I mean, I know the dude he's the GOAT when it comes to Philadelphia Eagles content creator. So, I mean, the dude is once in a while, he'll comment on my videos, tell me I'm doing it. He's like, good stuff, keep it up. He hits me up talking about Eagles. We talk. I hit him up sometimes. He hits me up on Twitter in the inbox. But maybe in the future, I hit up Philly 500. Maybe we get something done because I love watching his stuff too. Let's see. Lethal Talent 24. I think the Cowboys draft a receiver now that they don't have Cooper. That could easily push them to it. But now also think about this: the same way they lost Amari Cooper, their the number one wide receiver, and they didn't lose him yet. There's still a chance that they win him in free agency. I doubt it because he's going to try to get paid. But they lost their wide receiver, but they also just lost their corner. So do they go corner? Do they go safety because their safety play is horrible? Or do they go wide receiver? There are three positions I think the Cowboys will look to target. D-Hop would have been the perfect fit. Howie would have. What are you doing? Yeah. Listen, if we were all chilling, whatever we were doing a couple hours ago, I was at work. When the D-Hopkins trade came across my screen, if that would have said, Philadelphia Eagles acquire him for a second, a third, and a fourth, and a pick next year. I don't know. Maybe I'm just throwing too much, but I would have been, my God, D-Hop. I love D-Hop. He's dirty. Let's see. The Gambling Hippie. Can you do a quick rundown on anyone we picked up just got off work? Well, quick rundown. We signed back Hassan Ridgeway, D-tackle. Thought it was going to be our third option. But the big move we made is Javon Hargrave, nose tackle from the Pittsburgh Steelers. We gave him a 3-year, $39 million contract. I believe somebody said on here $26 million was guaranteed. I haven't checked it myself. But, yeah, so we're trying to shore up that defensive line, get a lot of pressure, and hope the best for the back end, I guess, right now. Spank cuz Justin Jefferson is a younger Jordan Matthews. I've seen that a lot. A lot of people are saying that he's a younger version of Jordan Matthews. Did Jordan Matthews run in the 4.4 though? I thought Jordan Matthews was a little slower than a 4.4 guy. Oh my gosh. My computer's about to die. With all that being said, I can run downstairs to get the charger, but it's about that time anyways too. So, like I said, do me a favor, and before you peace out, just smash that like button. I'll be doing it live again very soon. I'm going to have an official video about this whole free agency and the draft coming up. And I'm probably going to go live for the draft, but I also will be going live later this week. Thank you guys for all tuning in. Appreciate all the support. Charles Smith, Mims over Jefferson. Mims is a sleepy sneaker, though. That boy can ball. But with all that being said, thank you guys for watching and all the constant support. Appreciate you guys 100%. Until next time, keep it easy. Let's hope that we make a noise. We still make noise in free agency. And don't forget, the big prize is still the NFL draft, which I will be doing live. So stay tuned. Until next time, peace out.